Hi, welcome to Nagesh Biology online classes. Those who have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, like and share to your friends. Now, three kingdom classification we'll discuss. The first two kingdom classification that is proposed by Carolus van Linnaeus. Next, three kingdom classification. It is proposed by a scientist named Ernest Haeckel. He introduced three kingdom classification. According to three kingdom classification, there are total all organisms broadly divided into three kingdoms. The first kingdom, that is Protista. Second kingdom, Plantae. Third kingdom, that is Animalia. Like this, all organisms are broadly classified into three kingdoms. But each and every kingdom, important point. So the Protista kingdom, majority of organisms are unicellular. Majority of organisms are unicellular organisms. So here few multicellular organisms also placed by the scientists in Protista kingdom. So the Protista kingdom, all organisms, if you observe, according to three kingdom classification, majority of organisms are unicellular. Very few organisms are multicellular. First time the Protista kingdom introduced by Ernest Haeckel. So the Plantae kingdom, so here the Plantae kingdom, all organisms are multicellular organisms, but all these are autotrophs. They can prepare their own food. Such type of multicellular autotrophic organisms placed in Plantae kingdom by Ernest Haeckel. Animalia kingdom, all Animalia kingdom organisms are multicellular, but all these are heterotrophs. Once if you will observe, that is two kingdom and three kingdom classification. In two kingdom classification, all organisms divided into two kingdoms, Plantae, Animalia. But one more extra kingdom, so you can observe in three kingdom classification, that is Protista kingdom. Now, it is also not accepted by other scientists. Next, one more classification that is introduced, four kingdom classification, that is introduced by Copeland. So next classification continuation, that is the four kingdom classification. But this classification, the mainly what base it is introduced means, that is the Protista kingdom divided into two kingdoms. Protista, four kingdom classification, that is introduced by a scientist, that is Copeland. Scientists introduced four kingdom classification. According to Copeland four kingdom classification, all organisms are divided into mainly four kingdoms. Once you see here, the first Monera kingdom, second kingdom Protista kingdom, third kingdom Plantae, fourth kingdom Animalia. Once if you will observe what is the major difference between three kingdom and four kingdom classification. In three kingdom classification, so Protista kingdom, it consists of unicellular and multicellular organisms. But here prokaryotes are there, eukaryotes are there in this kingdom according to Ernest Haeckel. But whereas, so all prokaryotic unicellular organisms are placed in Monera kingdom by Copeland. The Monera kingdom, what it consists of? Unicellular organisms and as well as all they are prokaryotes. So remaining all the Protista, Plantae, Animalia, same characters you can see, but these Protista, Plantae, Animalia, all these they consist of eukaryotic organisms. But here only prokaryotic organisms separated from Protista kingdom, and he made one separate kingdom, that is Monera Kingdom by Copeland. Next, 5 kingdom classification. This 5 kingdom classification, it is proposed by R.H. Whittaker in 1969. The 5 kingdom classification, it is introduced by R.H. Whittaker. He introduced this classification in 1969, but it is accepted by the worldwide by the many scientists, because when you compare with 4 kingdom, 3 kingdom, 2 kingdom, that is the better classification that is introduced by R.H. Whittaker. But what based he divided all organisms into 5 kingdoms. He considered few characters. So those characters are very important. So the based on reproduction, next body organization, next cell structure. See here, all these characters considered by the scientists to classify into 5 kingdoms, all organisms into 5 kingdoms. Next, mode of nutrition. Last and final, that is phylogenetic relationship. But once you observe, R.H. Whittaker, he considered mainly these 5 characters to introduce or to propose 5 kingdom classification. So here the first character, reproduction. The different types of reproductive methods will be there in different organisms. Reproduction. Body organization. Next, cell structure. Mode of nutrition. Phylogenetic relationship. All these 5 characters considered by the scientists to classify or to introduce 5 kingdom classification. But once you see body organization means maybe unicellular or multicellular organisms. Next, cell structure, prokaryotic or eukaryotic nature. Mode of nutrition, autotrophs, heterotrophs. Phylogenetic relationship, evolutionary characters. Based on all these mainly 5 characters, scientists proposed 5 kingdom classification. Each and every kingdom has a specific characters. Based on that unique features, he proposed a 5 kingdom classification. Now let's discuss about each and every kingdom. So first, Monera Kingdom. Second kingdom, that is Protista Kingdom. Third kingdom, the Fungi. Fourth kingdom, Plantae. Fifth kingdom and last kingdom, that is Animalia. Like this, all organisms are broadly classified into 5 kingdoms. So every kingdom, so it has some unique feature. So once if you will observe, Monera kingdoms, all Monerans are unicellular organisms. You take any Moneran, that may be bacteria or mycoplasma or any organism, whatever placed in Monera Kingdom, all are unicellular organisms, and as well as all organisms, whatever placed in Monera Kingdom, all are prokaryotes. They do not consist of well-organized nucleus. So once you observe Protista Kingdom, all protistans, all are unicellular organisms. And the most important point in Protista Kingdom, all organisms are eukaryotes. Means they consist of well-organized nucleus. But once you see Monera Protista Kingdom, so major difference here, prokaryotes are there, here eukaryotes are there. That is the major difference between Monera and Protista. But Monerans are unicellular organisms, Protistans also unicellular organisms. Next, once you see fungi, unicellular organisms are there and as well as multicellular organisms, both are there in the fungi. But the fungi specialty chitinous cell wall. That is the unique feature of the fungi kingdom. Cell wall that consists of chitin. It is a polysaccharide that is found in cell wall of the fungi kingdom. But uni-multicellular both are there. But unicellular organisms are very few. The best example for unicellular fungus, that is the yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, that is used for making bread and beer. The alcoholic beverages are mainly prepared with the help of unicellular fungus, that is yeast. So the plant kingdom, all multicellular organisms and all autotrophs. So but here multicellular autotroph. But here multicellular, maximum whatever placed in plant kingdom, they are autotrophs. Animalia kingdom, they are multicellular organisms and all organisms are heterotrophs. But once you observe, for every kingdom there is one unique identification feature. Monera kingdom, prokaryotes are there, unicellular prokaryotes. Protista kingdom, unicellular eukaryotes are there. But whereas fungi, multicellular organism, chitinous cell wall. Plantae multicellular, Animalia multicellular. But Plantae autotrophs, Animalia heterotrophs. So in exam, what type of questions you can expect? In how many kingdoms unicellular organisms are placed by R.H. Whittaker? The how many kingdoms unicellular organisms? Monera kingdom, unicellular organisms are there. Protista kingdom, unicellular organisms are there. Fungi kingdom also few unicellular organisms are there. So total in how many kingdoms unicellular organisms are there? 3 kingdoms. First 3, Monera, Protista, Fungi. The next question, in how many kingdoms prokaryotes are placed by the scientists? R.H. Whittaker. Prokaryotes are placed in only, that is Monera kingdom. But remaining all kingdoms, they have eukaryotes. My question, in how many kingdoms the prokaryotes are placed? Only one kingdom, that is first kingdom, Monera kingdom. So the next question, in how many kingdoms eukaryotes are placed according to 5 kingdom classification? Eukaryotes are placed in 4 kingdoms. Once you observe, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, all these 4 kingdoms, they are all eukaryotic organisms. So eukaryotes are placed in 4 kingdoms, that is Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Now let's discuss about a topic, comparison of 2 kingdom classification with 5 kingdom classification. But here the Linnaeus and R.H. Whittaker proposed different kingdoms classification. Now I am going to explain different organisms where placed in 2 kingdom classification and where exactly placed in according to R.H. Whittaker 5 kingdom classifications. First, the Chlamydomonas. According to Linnaeus, Chlamydomonas placed in Plantae kingdom. Chlamydomonas cell, it consists cell wall, so placed in Plantae kingdom. But it is unicellular eukaryotic organism, so it is placed Protista kingdom according to R.H. Whittaker. But see, the kingdoms are different. Organism, a Chlamydomonas placed in Plantae kingdom by Linnaeus, same organism placed by R.H. Whittaker in different kingdom, that is Protista kingdom. Now next we will see Chlorella. This Chlorella unicellular organism placed in Plantae kingdom by Linnaeus, because Chlorella consists cell wall. But unicellular eukaryotic organisms, so it is placed in Protista kingdom by R.H. Whittaker. Spirogyra. Spirogyra, multicellular filamentous chlorophysi alga. But the Spirogyra also consists of cell wall, so placed in Plantae kingdom. But here Spirogyra multicellular organism and eukaryotic autotrophic organism, so according to RH Whittaker also placed in Plant Kingdom, but kingdom it is same. Next, Paramecium, that is, it is unicellular eukaryotic organism but do not consist the cell wall. It lacks cell wall. Due to lack of cell wall placed in Animalia Kingdom by Linnaeus. But Paramecium, it is a unicellular eukaryotic organism, so it is placed in Protista Kingdom by RH Whittaker. So next, Amoeba, it also lacks cell wall, so it is placed in Animalia Kingdom in two kingdom classification. But Amoeba unicellular eukaryotic organism, so it is placed in Protista Kingdom by RH Whittaker. So next, fungi. The fungi, it consists cell wall but chitinous cell wall, but based on the cell wall nature it is placed in Plant Kingdom by Linnaeus. But whereas the fungi, due to presence of chitinous cell wall, that may be uni or multicellular fungi, all types of fungi, that uni and multicellular fungi, due to presence of chitinous cell wall, that is placed in Fungi Kingdom, that is a separate kingdom made by RH Whittaker in 5 kingdom class. Next, blue-green algae. This blue-green algae also called cyanobacteria, prokaryotic algae. So this blue-green algae, they also consist of cell wall, so that is placed in Plant Kingdom. But blue-green algae, they are prokaryotes, so that is placed in Munira Kingdom by RH Whittaker. All blue-green algae are cyanobacteria. They do not consist well-organized nucleus. Well-organized nucleus is not found or absent. Prokaryotic nucleus will be there. Nuclear envelope is completely absent. So blue-green algae placed in Munira Kingdom by RH Whittaker in 5 kingdom classification. Last and final, that is bacteria. That may be archaebacteria or eubacteria, anyone you can take. That all bacteria, that is placed in Plant Kingdom by Linnaeus, because bacterial cells also consist cell wall. But whereas bacterial cells, they do not consist well-organized nucleus. So due to lack of nuclear envelope, they are prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are placed in Munira Kingdom by RH Whittaker. This is just a list of some organisms and where they placed according to Linnaeus in which kingdom, according to RH Whittaker in which kingdom. That is examination point of view. It is most important concept.